Ian, this morning we were campaigning in Manston,
Yes,
and there was one thing that was mentioned. 8 years ago, you weren't as pro airport as you are today.
absolutely true. They were right. Yes, I did oppose the airport 8 years ago, but 8 years is a long time ago. I remember 8 years ago, Ash Ashby, who's now standing as a Conservative, was in UKIP. But life goes on, people change over time, and I've changed on my position on the airport because the aeronautical industry is changing as well and heading towards low carbon, heading towards less and less noise and air pollution. And I think, just like cars, how cars have evolved over the past few years, where the electric car is now growing in numbers, I think we're going to see something similar happening in the airport industry and aeronautics, where aeroplanes are going to become less damaging to the environment. And that's why I've changed my position, and that's why I support a state-of-the-art modern Manston Airport.
A state-of-the-art modern Manston Airport, and I look forward to flying with you. I mean, your other half comes from Spain, and maybe we can fly out to Spain. Also, as you know, I'm extremely pro-airport as well, and went on the tour with Tony Freudman and others, and we were talking about drones. You love drones. Drones are a really positive thing, and that could be a major industry for Thanet, and a job-creating industry. I mean,
I totally agree, John, and yes, I love drones. I've got one. I'm trying to get my license to operate it, but I love playing with it. And yes, you're right, drone technology, as we can see, sadly, a lot from awful warfare, but as we can see, the possibilities with drone technology, especially delivering drones that deliver and transport products, that the sky literally is the limit, and they are electric. They can go further and further and further. They can carry bigger and bigger weights safely, and I see that as part of the aeronautical revolution.
so that really is a modern.
Yes, a modern state-of-the-art airport industry and aeronautical industry.
So we actually want a modern, state-of-the-art Manston Airport.
It can be done, and it will be done.
And one thing when I went to Amsterdam, when I flew from the airport, I think it literally took us half an hour. It took us longer to get from Westbrook to actually where I was living at the time to the airport. And before we know it, we're there. It's
Absolutely, John. And I would think in years to come, maybe our children or our grandchildren, I keep on talking about our children or grandchildren,
this is what it's
because
about.
I'm a granddad now. But I think they're going to see it. They're going to see fantastic changes in aircraft safety, in the propulsion methods, and the massive disappearance of the horrible pollution that they put out now.
Because we met a lot of country people, as it were. I like to think of myself as a country person.
I am too.
In Minster, where you came from was
The Yorkshire countryside.
Oh, absolutely.
It's grim up north, as they say.
And people are really, really, concerned about their farmland in Manston. As people in Minster here love the airport. It's not one thing or the other.
Yep.
They're two very important issues.
Well, that gets me to another point, which is concerned me. I think some of the other parties who I'm standing against have weaponised the Manston Airport issue in order to sidetrack public attention from saving farmlands. I do know.
Why do you think that is, Ian?
Well, people have been digging up, like we said, things I said 8 years ago, which don't apply now, in order to stop the debate on farmland and Minster marshes. Because I think, number one, they're frightened because the Thanet independents, are saying things that they're not saying or are too frightened to say because their parties won't let them say. So I think it's the oldest trick in the book. The other parties raising the airport are throwing out a red herring to distract people. And you know what? It makes me feel like those parties are just insulting the voters of Thanet.
I agree with you, and one of the things you said to me when you joined Thanet Independence, you said, "I like the fact that we're not whipped, that we vote with our conscience."
Yep.
And I said to you, the only rule that we have is that we must vote the way that our residents want us to vote.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I'm a person who takes my politics very passionately. Some would say too passionately, but that's probably the norm.
I don't think you can be too passionate about you.
I don't think you can. When it comes to food and food security, when it comes to ecology and pollution and other things and housing even, I am passionate because there is so many things that are unfair about it. And if I'm anything, I'm a politician who believes in fairness and who believes in putting the needs of the people I'm supposed to represent before the needs of any party. And that's why I'm an independent, and that's why I'm glad to be working with you, John.
Thank you very much, Ian. And at the same time, are you happy to work with me and other parties? Because we do work on a cross-party basis.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I've had one or two Conservatives speaking to me behind the scenes about how concerned they are about the direction of their party. And in fact, I'm being backed in the election by some of them. But I've always been someone who will work across party lines. Personally, I think there should be no parties in local government.
I agree. Well, there's actually a Conservative district councillor who's now a county candidate who's actually come out on Facebook endorsing you.